I don't get no fuck who don't like what I'm on. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on that shit with an iron fist. If a motherfucker catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen, I'm too advanced for these niggas. I sit and watch how these niggas lose their life. There ain't nothing to be bragging on, but these niggas flunkies to me, gang. Like, they ain't built for this shit. Like, I don't get caught lacking, man. Any shit can happen to anybody, blood. A blink of eye, you turn your head 1 second, man, the wrong move, motherfucker see you, you don't see them, it can happen, gang. Don't surround yourself in certain environments, you ain't gotta worry about that shit. I'm too much worried about one of my own snaking me out before I let a goofy get up on me, gang. That's just how I look at life, you feel me? Like, can't no nigga think farther than me, man. I realize I do this shit, bro, you feel me?
There's 300 likes on this video. I'm on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Please hit that like button. And please make sure you donate to the channel so I can keep on bringing y'all great content. I love y'all.
Yo, notice the people, this ain't no sequel. Eagle in the sky, coffee on the side, crown on high.
See, what some of y'all don't understand is, I'm talking about y'all that's not where I'm from. Y'all that's not from Chicago. What y'all fail to realize is our attitude and our brain and mindset is totally different from theirs over there. We got that I don't give a fuck attitude, and that's something that the world can't understand. That's why Chicago is Chicago. That's why Chicago have been labeled the murder capital of the United States of America and the whole world. For decades after decades after decades, Larry Bernard Hoover is from there. Let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna be done with it. David Barksdale, the leader of the BDs, Larry Hoover, the leader of the GDs. Do you understand how smart these two guys is? I mean, like, really sit back and think about it. Now, I know a lot of y'all that's watching me, right? Y'all not gonna understand, and y'all don't know how smart these two guys is. Now, a lot of y'all that's watching me, that's in the game, have been in the game, understand the game, know who Larry and Barksdale is, y'all understand how smart Larry is. I'ma just speak upon Larry Bernard Hoover. Larry is so smart. Larry is powerful and smarter than Donald Trump. You could put Larry Hoover in a category when it comes to intelligence and being smart. Put him in a category with Elon Musk. Now, I speak upon Elon Musk a lot in my videos because I know that man's smart. Google him, see every step of the way he made it to where he at right now. And then come back to my channel and jump down off in my comments and tell me what you found out. And I want you to do the same thing for Larry. Look at all of the things Larry have wrote up. Look at how be able to tell how Larry, Mad, was set and still is set. And come back and let me know what you think. Now, THF BAYZOO, he really did mean what he was saying. He too advanced. He see how a lot of these clowns, how a lot of these goofy be getting caught lacking, be getting caught loafing. What the thing is, right? Y'all don't understand. When a lot of people be in a war, your brain get tired. Your heart get tired. Your soul get tired. You gonna get tired. That's what y'all not understand. He meant everything that he said. Listen here, I'm a Chicago nigga, right? When I got tired of being in a war, I knew what to do. I didn't care if nobody called me a sellout. You see what I'm saying? But you got a lot of these guys that do care about, oh, if somebody say, oh man, you a sellout. He had a problem with taking off his chain and throwing it down the drain or throwing it off in the river. And do you really think he would do that? Do you really think that came across his mind? Yeah, I do. And when it came across his mind, I know. I want you to answer me. Do you think when it came across his mind that he really said to himself, yeah, I'm finna go do that. I'm on that. F this chain and charge it to the game. I just want to be a lamb. You know, y'all see what I'm saying? Pride too high. For one, why is you even in Chicago? Why is you even in Chicago? I got this video right here, man. It's not surprising to me because I'm really from the city of Chicago. I'm really from Inglewood. I done already been and walked through them same parts. Well, that man was born and raised there. Everywhere they say all them buildings, the Greens, Cabrini Greens, Stateway, the federal buildings, the Robert Taylors. I done been all through them buildings, up to the bottom. From the bottom all the way up top. I done been to parties in them buildings. I done walked down State Street. I done been up north to the Greens and walking through there, driving through there, stopping. You know what I'm talking about? Blowing with some of my guys over there. So I know how it is in Chicago. A lot of y'all don't know how it is in Chicago. That's why y'all never would know, because y'all never would be able to understand. A lot of people from Chicago is suffering a mental illness, and that's true. I don't mean to even be faking and fronting and flogging or, you know, trying to throw nobody up under the bus or act like I'm better than nobody. We really retarded in the head. And it's a shame how we settle our depression, anxiety, PTSD. I didn't hear about these type of illnesses until I moved out here and now. You did what I'm saying. I really did. I didn't know what no anxiety was before I came out here. You know what I knew? You listen here. Hold on. This is what I knew to do if I was having a panic attack. I I'm on my way to the liquor store to grab me a pint or a fifth of that Hendon. Or back in the day, we drink Savannah or Blue Label. Some call it Blue Top. Man, I used to be a chef. For y'all that don't know what a shelf is, man, give me anything up off that shelf. Give me some, man, you got Bumpy Face, you got ENJ, you got whatever's on that shelf. Let me get that. Oh, you got beers in the back? Let me get some of them Budweiser. Let me get some Corona, Heineken. Let me get some cheap. Let me get a $2 bill. Let me get what you call them that man? Let me get a Mike's Hard Lemonade. Because that was my therapy. That was my medication. It's a shame to say it. That was therapeutic to me. And the same thing that happened to me back in the days, the same way that, you know, back in the days when I was in the game, it's still going on the same exact way. Ain't nothing changed. Now I'm gonna let y'all check this here video out, and if I don't see y'all before or after, you know what I'm saying, this video here go off before it ends, or like I say, I might cut in between the video. Can y'all please make sure y'all look up top, and please make sure y'all donate to my channel, and make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button and bang on my bell for me, and yeah, subscribe to my channel. And y'all already know what time it is. I ain't gotta say too much now. Deuces, it's deuces, it's deuces, 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 it's deuces, it's deuces, it's deuces, deuces, deuces. Hey, hey.
Today's story brings us back to Chicago, Illinois, a city with some of the richest people in the country, along with some of the poorest and most dangerous neighborhoods in the country. Chicago is also well known for its huge project buildings, especially back in the 90s, and possibly one of the most well-known project buildings in the country's history for how violent and gang-infested the Cabrini Greens were.
Chicago Housing Authority Chief Louis Jordan calls it the end of an ugly era.
You would have had to live there to understand how bad it had gotten.
And no place was worse than Cabrini Green. Built in 1942 to provide decent housing for the poor, it became a symbol of concentrated poverty and neglect. Gangs ruled entire buildings. Residents were terrorized by violence.
And that brings us to the man we're here to talk about today, 35-year-old Devontae Collier, better known as THF BAYZOO. BAYZOO has many nicknames, including Zoo and his childhood nickname Bebe, which he says he got from being such a bad kid. Being raised in the Cabrini Greens projects was far from an easy upbringing, and BAYZOO had older brothers and many family members deep in the streets influencing Zoo since a very young age.
Cabrini Green was like, I didn't witness so much shit coming up as a shorty, man. I believe like that's what just had me grow the excitement of the drill culture for real. You know, watching my big brothers and shit when I was a shorty, like right. I was already advanced as a youngin', like a puppy off the porch. I was advanced.
Similar to what I spoke about in Take a Pong's story, as he was from a project building as well, they seen crazy things in these gang-controlled buildings, and that can corrupt a young child into a negative mindset.
Picture a no man's land with broken windows, dark abandoned buildings, no law and order. There are carefully demarcated areas controlled by rival bands of armed militia fighting over the rubble. Nearly every night there's sniper fire.
The Cabrini Greens began demolition in 1995, and final residents moved out in 2010 before it was eventually demolished in 2011. And Zoo would say the building he lived in was one of the first to be torn down, and his mother ended up moving to the low end. The low end is described as the south side of the city up to about 51st Street.
How far does the low end stretch? That's 51st. 51st, right there. Where them buildings, where they had the buildings, the Robert Taylors.
As Zoo's mom moved near Woodlawn and 46, as the hood went by 46 Terror and 46 Woodlawn, this is a very dangerous part of the city. Zoo would say he jumped all the way off the porch once he moved here, and he was also back and forth to his grandma's house, who lived near Cabrini on the 1300 block. Polo G is also from that area where BAYZOO grew up playing baseball before being in the streets. That's something surprising about a lot of Chicago's gang members growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, a lot of them did play baseball. And BAYZOO has multiple siblings, notably his little brothers Gutta and Lil Gutta. He would eventually be deep in the streets in his early teens and stay in trouble, living up to his nickname, Bebe.
And what about your siblings, your brothers?
Yeah, we was born and raised with each other,
right.
for sure. You know, like I told you, the family always been tight. I'd be at my OG crib out south, or I'd go back to my grandma's crib, just back and forth coming up as a young, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of siblings. Yeah. OG got 10 kids.
Okay.
6 boys, 4 girls, so our family big as hell anyway, you know?
He would end up getting caught stealing cars while in middle school, and when his family went to a family reunion near the city Cairo, which is in southern Illinois, only about 2 hours away from Memphis. Unknowingly to him, Zoo was getting left here by his mother to get him away from the Chicago streets and have a better chance at life. But Zoo was already deep in the trenches by this time and was looking for a way to come up on some money while down there. And he would eventually come up with a plan to rob a liquor store with his cousin, which he would eventually do, going in the store, producing a handgun, and running away with a few $100s.
Where they do the scratch offs and play the lottery and shit. Me as a young nigga, guess what I was thinking in the lottery machine? Millions of dollars. That's what I thought.
Right.
I ain't know no better. You know, I'm watching movies and shit. I did some fuck shit, man, on my kids. We plotted out, planned out. We ended up robbing a liquor store, running them motherfucker, lay them down.
He would get away for a few weeks, but they eventually caught his accomplice, and Zoo left a thumbprint on the counter. And as armed robbery is a very serious crime to be charged with, BAYZOO was only around 13 years old. He would cop out to juvenile life instead of fighting the case and possibly getting charged as an adult, which could carry much harsher sentences. And luckily for him, he would be let out early, as juvenile life is usually until you're 21, but Zoo would get out at 17 years old after serving around 5 years. Zoo would spend 6 months in Harrisburg Detention Center, located around 10 hours from Chicago, before being sent to the Illinois Youth Center in Joliet, where he would spend around 2 years. But these prisons were very far away from his family in Chicago, and they would eventually send him to St. Charles Detention Center, which is right outside of Chicago, where he would spend 2 years here and get out at 17, reuniting with a lot of his neighborhood friends in these detention centers. And Zoo wouldn't be out long before being caught with a gun in Chicago and catch his first adult case. A close friend of Zoo's, who was from the same hood, would sadly pass away from cancer in 2007, and they had to be close, as we hear Zoo merch on Carl a lot. And as Butta does say in his viral story he told on DJU about BAYZOO, he recalls Zoo saying on Carl many times while in jail, while running the deck.
Everybody out they cell. It's the middle of the night. The COs, get in y'all cell. Baby on Carl. On Carl, bitch, go on the cell. Woo, bitch on Carl. My son, bitch, get in the cell on Carl. Woo. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I be in the voice, I be that. What's that behind that door? I'm on too good. We gotta get up in my head. We gotta get up off this bitch. They gonna kill us over here.
And around this time, BAYZOO's hood, THF, also got into it, one of the most well-known hoods in the city, 051 Young Money, who are located just blocks away from THF. And like every Chicago war, this would end very bad. On March 13, 2008, a well-loved 051 member named Carlos Merrill, who went by Los, would sadly be gunned down by a man named France Witten, who went by THF Franco. This was 051's first death in this manner, and Franco would be convicted of this murder and sentenced to 55 years in prison, where he still sits today. And this would officially kick off one of the deadliest and longest ongoing wars in the streets of Chicago.
Half of y'all ass basketball players and mamas, boys.
I still play basketball. And I'm still a mama boy.
You ain't tell the media that, did you? Who forced y'all in?
I still play basketball.
Hey, Melly, who forced y'all in this shit?
Who? Who the reason why we play with guns?
Who forced y'all in this shit?
Y'all the first people to do it with.
Y'all would drive y'all mama's cars in 8th grade, bro.
See, you lying. I want to drive my mama's car. I want to drive
y'all asses in grammar school driving y'all mama's cars. The whole your money was bitches and basketball players.
And Zoo would later speak on Los while on live with THF Billa.
Hey, you hear me? Bro, Los was my man's, nigga. Los been a gangster. You was just his dick rider.
On Wall Grade, bro.
I ain't gonna take it from Los. Los was a gangster. You was his fan, nigga. You was his homie. On Kyle, your ass went with the shit, nigga.
You was Los Flunky on gutter grade.
He know that.
The next year in 2009, Zoo was around 18 years old, and he was deep in the streets. A well-known THF member was actually Zoo's right-hand man, who goes by the name THF Brubra. Brubra is well known as a loose screw, and he was also close with guys like Lil Reese growing up.
Okay, Mr. Clare was involved in a fight inside cell 106. You wish to make a statement in regards to what happened in the cell, sir?
Just that.
Just that?
You and Bro was real good friends?
Yeah, that was like my best friend.
Really? We heard Bro was a fucked up individual.
Yes.
Damn, and that was your best friend?
That's all.
So what was so fucked up about Bro?
I ain't gonna lie, Shorty was like that though. Everybody knew that.
It's him, man, putting Keith to sleep and throwing him in the garbage. You ever seen somebody get put to sleep first off, let alone get thrown in the garbage? That, bro, I was scared of bruh. I'm not them niggas. I tell bruh, please. See me, I put myself out, hey bro, I'm scared of you, bro. Please don't do that to me.
Bro was also responsible for T-Slick's eye being poked out after stabbing it with a metal hanger.
What bro did, bro? Why the fuck would you have an iron rod and hit T-Slick in his eye like this? Like this?
You know, we was real young, shit. I like 5. Me and my homie, you know, we f***ing around. He f***ed around and swung the little stick, swiped across my shit. My shit was put out ever since.
So you talking about Bro?
Yeah.
And Bro and BAYZOO would be side by side running the streets, being the muscle for THF. And on July 6 of 2009, the streets would be shook as 21-year-old Dominic Barnes was standing near the 4700 block of South Forestville Avenue when 2 men would allegedly walk up to Barnes and question him about his gang affiliation. Before one of the men produced a handgun and shot him to death. These 2 men are rumored to be Zoo and Bro. And this was a broad day crime that happened around 10 in the morning, but no suspects were arrested immediately after this. Zoo would continuously get locked up and be in and out of jail, as well as being known to be very active in the streets.
It's Woodline crazy, man. You feel me? Free my man TG, free breed, you know, 4-6 to the dirt. All you bitch ass dirty low niggas, y'all getting this something. I seen what you bitch ass niggas got all on the internet against your man's baby, but look, y'all ain't ready. It is what it is, man. Straight up. Fuck you, man.
And he would be surrounded by death like many involved in the Chicago gang wars. In 2011, his brother Gutta would sadly pass away after allegedly shooting himself in the head while playing with a revolver.
You know, he was in the house, the gun accidentally went off and shot him in the head or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's how he passed away.
This was a very tough loss for Zoo, as this was his blood brother, and on top of that, the war with Young Money was also heating up, as on April 11, 2011, Zoo was walking with another THF member who went by THF Quint, a 17-year-old whose real name was Quentin Turner, brother of well-respected member THF Rome, who was also walking with Zoo and Quint at around 5 p.m. on 46 and Cottage Grove, when a car would pull up and let off shots at the group, striking all 3 of them, with Quint sadly getting the worst of it, being shot in the back of the head and neck, being killed instantly. Rome and BAYZOO would luckily survive this shooting, as they too could have easily been killed. The 2 groups would go on to trade murders back and forth in the ongoing years, as THF Black was also killed a year later in 2012, as he was shot to death with an AK-47. And a year later, THF would get back, killing a female Young Money member named Big A, whose real name was Amanda Fitch, sister of well-respected Young Money member Ario. And the streets do say Ario eventually told the police that Zoo admitted to killing his sister to him, but Zoo would never be charged with his death. But Zoo would get locked up around this time, being charged as an armed habitual, facing a lot of time, as this is a very serious charge in Chicago. And around this time, he was also very close with Lil Durk, as he is seen in Lil Durk's music video, This Ain't What You Want.
You can go, I know, this ain't what you want.
As well as 52 Bars Part 2, where Durk shouts out BAYZOO by his name.
You don't know who baby is? 4-6, Woodline.
And many more events will go on following this, including Lil Mark from 051 dropping the song Competition and being killed just a few days later for it in March of 2014.
Wake up, ate a bowl of chips while I was blown on big thing.
OTF Newski, cousin of Lil Durk, would also be killed in 2014, and this is rumored to be work of 051 Melly, who was BAYZOO and Lil Durk's biggest op, especially following the death of Newski. And on November 5th, 2014, Zoo would be at Lil Durk's house when police would raid the house, as they had a warrant for BAYZOO for the murder of Dominic Barnes that him and Bro were allegedly responsible for years earlier in 2009. Zoo was now in the Cook County jail and would spend the next 4 years fighting this case, and many big events would go on while he was gone.
Who is THF Bro?
I ain't know he called himself THF Bro. But Bro who he is, man, a rat. Bro one of the ones who got down on me, blood on the body, you get what I'm saying? So a lot of these niggas scatter shorty. They sucking his dick, whatever the situation is. He talk crazy, he get crazy, he act crazy. No respect coming from my way. That's all y'all need to know, man. Like,
in early 2015, a younger THF member named THF Raheem, who happened to be very close to BAYZOO As Zoo dealt with Raheem's mother and looked at Raheem like a godson, Raheem would shoot at 051 members, striking Melly in the foot, and 051 Ario, the brother of 051 Big A, was struck as well, but both would survive. And this would be a huge mistake, as just around 2 weeks later, on May 24th, 2015, 15-year-old Raheem Dameron was leaving a restaurant near 45th and Cottage Grove in THF's hood. Raheem was with a group of 4 or 5 boys all around his age when a silver sedan pulled up and fired shots at the group, fatally striking Raheem. Zoo would later speak on how much this hurt him, as he was very close to the 15-year-old boy. And to the surprise of nobody, 051 was responsible for this killing, as 20-year-old Arius Fitch, who went by 051 Ario, who again is the brother of female Big A, he was arrested for this murder. And a witness would also identify Melly as being in the car with Ario.
These niggas bitches. These niggas hoes. Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. You niggas hoes, y'all scared of me. You wanna know why y'all don't show y'all face? Cause you know if you show your face, you gonna get dealt with, right? You can show my son, Ray, that sight, all that. Where's your face at? Kimon. You niggas bitches. Get your whole ass off my page.
And more big events would conspire while Zoo was locked up, like OTF Chino being killed, Bobo's death, as well as Zoo tragically losing his daughter, who passed away after what he claims was negligence by his baby mother's boyfriend at the time, who was giving the infant baby girl a bath when she supposedly drowned.
Yeah, she drowned in the tub and shit, man. My baby mama, I don't know, she was young, man, on some dick dumb shit. With some little nigga from out of town. But I don't give a who you go find, like, shit, no other nigga that ain't his child. I done raised plenty of my daughter's blood. I ain't never bathed them. It's just my conscience, like I can't do it, you feel me?
And I couldn't imagine dealing with all of this while also fighting for my life, but Zoo would stay strong and eventually win the trial, being found not guilty for the murder of Dominic Barnes in January of 2018. And he would walk free from this case, similar to King Von, who also beat his case around this time. And Dirk would quickly fly both of them out to Atlanta and take them shopping. They would release the song Beat That Body on October 6th of 2018. And this was huge and absolutely blew up King Von, as it sits over 13 million views today.
Beat the body, now the trippers call me Rocky. Shout out the members, them my motherfucking partners.
Dirk and Von were on their way to major success, and Zoo was right along for the ride, being a strong leader amongst OTF, pretty much being Dirk's right-hand man, but he would constantly face legal troubles, being caught with guns. Von and Zoo would also appear on 16 Shot, where King Von did his first interview. OTF will go on to become one of the most famous groups in the country, behind Lil Durk and King Von's star power. And Zoo would miss a lot of this, as he was unfortunately dealing with many legal troubles on the way, fighting multiple gun cases. He was also with Von the night he passed away, but Zoo left from around Von before Von went to the Monaco Hookah Lounge, where the late King Von unfortunately lost his life after fighting with Quando Rondo. And Zoo would later speak about this in interviews, which he finally decided to take on in 2023.
After the hour release party, he's supposed to went to the Airbnb. I don't got no knowledge on who influenced them to go to the other club. Me and all my guys that was in the car I was in went to the Waffle House. You know, I smoke cigarettes, bro. We at the Waffle House ordering something to eat. So I'm thinking they finna go to Airbnb, so we at the Waffle House. I'm outside smoking a cigarette. And my phone and shit, on my phone and shit on my door. I hear every shot, like, I hear that bitch sound like Wild Wild West, gang. And 8 minutes after I hear the shots, and we talking about the shit, Von Hellcat fly past the Waffle House, bro. But they been rolled past and went and did what they did, but it's Charles and fly past the Waffle House and blow the red light. When they ran the red light, I knew what was going on. I'm like, damn, like that was just Von. Y'all didn't see Von Charles? They on the guys, that was just Von Charles.
Doing his first interviews, telling his life story with No Jumper, DJU, and Off the Porch. Also dropping many big songs along the way, like Murder Story, Big Boss, No Plan, and many more. And although Zoo was a rapper at OTF, he had real respect in the streets, and like Dirk said in the song, feds think Zoo a chief because he really was a big factor.
Low-key wanna get Zoo out the way, they say he a chief out here.
Now let's get into the drama that led up to Zoo's ultimate downfall. In March of 2022, Lil Zay Osama released a big song titled Fuck My Cousin, and just a few months later, Zay would send the song to Lil Durk, offering Durk money to pay for a feature, as Durk was one of the hottest rappers in the country at the time, fresh off of the release of the album 7220. Durk would quickly respond to Zay, telling him he got him and he would do the feature and video for free, with the song going absolutely crazy, sitting at over 70 million views today.
The night my brother died, if you was there, just know you died too.
And Durk also kind of recruited Lil Zay to OTF but never formally signed him. And in turn, Lil Zay would be added to a group chat with Durk and other OTF members. And as we know, Durk is closely tied in with THF, so many THF members were in this chat, and Lil Zay became cool with many of them, including Zoo. Eventually, Lil Zay would shoot a music video, and many THF members would show up to this video. Zay would end up getting drunk and returning to his hotel room, taking his watches off in the main room. Before heading to his room where he would go to sleep, he would mention that he was so drunk and sleepy, he got some money out of his pocket to buy something off of the THF members who came up to his room. And he would fall right back to sleep, not knowing some of the members would steal his watches on their way out. And Zay would speak on this in a No Jumper interview, saying he expected Durk or Zoo to be able to get the jewelry back, but instead they began beefing and have been into it to this day.
You know, was on some low down, dirty, broke shit. You feel me? Seen the opportunity and went for it. You feel me? Didn't care about the after effect of nobody else. Didn't care about the relationships, the bonds that it was gonna break, or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. They just cared about self at that point. You know what I'm saying? So they went with their move and they did what they did, and you know, it is what it is.
A few murders would go on in retaliation to this, including THF TP being killed and DMG Lil Deuce also being killed. And ultimately, this would end up with THF Zeus sadly being gunned down just a few days ago while he was at a car parts shop located on the 3100 block of South Lewis Avenue. It was around 3 p.m. on October 25th. Zoo was standing in a parking lot near two other men when two gunmen would approach them and shoot the group down, striking Zoo in his torso area multiple times with what appears to be a Draco or an ARP. Two of the men would survive this attack, but it was clear BAYZOO was the main target, as he was shot a lot more than the other two guys, and he would sadly be taken off of life support Sunday morning. This was a tragic loss for the city of Chicago, as Zoo is one of the most well-loved people from the city, and I can't imagine what Lil Durk is going through, as he's locked up fighting for his life, and many OTF members are back in the trenches, and Zoo would pay dearly for this. And crazy enough, I've been working on Zoo's video for a few weeks, and he just happened to pass away this weekend, which is crazy.
Yo, notice the people, this ain't no sequel. Eagle in the sky, coffee on the side, crown on high.
300 likes on this video. I'm on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Please hit that like button. And please make sure you donate to the channel so I can keep on bringing y'all great content. I love y'all.